Cortez here at AMI Cutwear, and today I'm going to be doing a little video showing you different tips on how to keep your hair long or grow your hair long if that's where you're trying to go. So stay tuned and you'll find out how to have Rapunzel locks in no time. So the first thing that I want to talk about is something that a lot of us busy bees don't give a lot of thought to, but you really have to take care of your health in general if you want your hair to look good as well. So that means getting enough protein in your diet. That comes from beans, meat, fish, poultry, eggs, dairy, you know, your basic sources of protein. And of course there are vegan options as well. If you are vegan, then obviously you know that those include seeds, nuts, again, certain, like quinoa has it. That will be easily available information online if you just do a quick Google search. So anyway, first and foremost, protein. Now also make sure that you are trying to, you know, generally live a healthy lifestyle that includes getting enough sleep, drinking enough water, exercising. All of this is going to increase the blood flow to your scalp, so that's going to give your hair the circulation and the proteins that it needs to actually grow. Because if you're not getting enough protein, or if you're just not healthy in general, your body is going to use all of its resources to trying to survive versus growing Rapunzel hair. So that's my first tip. Supplements can also be a help as well. So one thing that I take to help my hair grow and even grow thicker, because my hairdresser tells me that she sees a lot of baby hairs coming in and that it's getting thick, which makes me happy because my hair is really fine. Definitely take something like Nature's Bounty Hair, Skin, and Nails vitamins. I get a big jar of them at Costco. They're super affordable and trust me, they work. Another thing that you can try, which something I'm not very consistent with because my hair is really high maintenance, so I don't like it to grow too fast because then I'm having to color it more, and that gets counterproductive if you're, you know, trying to grow your hair out and you're constantly putting bleach and color on it. But you can try Ovation cell therapy, and you probably have heard the commercials on the radio, but basically it's just a system of a treatment and or shampoos, conditioners, different vitamins you can take. I just use the treatment, but you literally put it on your scalp if you wash your hair at night, and then leave it on overnight if you can. You do this, I don't know, maybe 2 to 3 times a week max. If you're really lazy, just do it once a week. But basically, this formulation was made for horses and to keep their manes strong and healthy and long. And they made like a human version of it. A lot of people don't know that. The horse version is called Megatech. So if you live in an area where they have horse supply stores, you can also give that a try as well. If you want something that's guaranteed to work, they do have a 1-year guarantee that their products will work for you. It's called Ovation Cell Therapy. So they do have a website, check it out. Okay, so I don't have extensions, and I like to keep it that way because one, extensions are really expensive, and they also mess up your natural hair because the weight of the extensions tends to pull your hair out, and you don't want that to happen if you're trying to grow your hair out. And you know, these days extensions are super popular and they're very normal, and tons of girls in my industry use them, but I like to have all my hair, you know, stuck in my scalp. So basically, when you go to the hairdresser, you want to try to avoid using as much bleach as possible. I obviously have a lot of bleach in my hair, but most of it is from highlights, and then the rest is just like a really light base color. When you go to a hairdresser, make sure that she's reputable, that hopefully she's done some of your friends or family members' hair, or that they have good reviews online, because you definitely don't want to go to somebody who's going to fry your hair off. This happens all the time, and what happens is basically bleach is either left on too long or it's placed on hair that has already been bleached in the past. So a lot of girls have this idea where they're like a light color like me, and then they dye their hair black or dark brown, and then they maybe like 6 months later want to go back to the light color. That's kind of a recipe for disaster, and that's probably going to make a lot of your hair very weak, if not break off. So ask your hairdresser when she's doing your highlights as you go for your retouch that she's not going over the pieces that have already been bleached. And Yeah, it's common knowledge and a lot of hairdressers already know this, but some hairdressers don't know it or they don't care. So you really have to be very verbal with that. Also, when they wash your hair, I suggest that you ask them if you can brush out your hair from that after the hair has been washed and it's been all like mushed together in the sink. Your hair's gonna be so tangled, it's gonna be sopping wet, and they're gonna wanna get a brush or a comb even, and they're gonna start raking through your hair. Definitely ask if you can do it yourself. Bring your own wide tooth comb if you have to. And definitely, when you brush your hair when it's wet, put in a leave-in conditioner if you can, something really lightweight, it's not gonna weigh your hair down too much. And then start from the bottom. So with the wide tooth comb, I'm just going to pretend this is a wide tooth comb. This is actually a teasing comb, but you're just going to gently hold it right here and you're just going to start detangling from the bottom up like that. And as you work your way up, by holding your hair, you're creating less tension than if you were to like start here and start going down, or if you're starting down here, if you're not holding this upper portion. Again, your hair is very delicate, your hair is very old. And contrary to popular belief, hair that has left your scalp is dead. So I hear a lot of girls talking about how hair dies doing certain things and all this stuff. No, your hair is already dead. So because there's no living cells in your hair, that means you have to take the best possible care that you can of it. So with some products that I have right here, I'm going to show you how to do that. Okay, so once you have your hair all detangled and you want to blow dry it, definitely keep the dryer moving. Try not to have it on the highest setting if possible. I tend to just put mine on the high setting. I have a regular Conair or Revlon dryer, nothing special. But I definitely constantly keep it moving, and I'm constantly alternating with the cool shot button. So I'm never letting my hair ever get too hot, especially in one area, because that's just going to open up your cuticle. And literally, if your hair gets too hot while it's still damp, the little water molecules inside the hair will actually expand and burst, and that's kind of what creates little points of weakness where you'll see little white dots on your hair that end up being places where it breaks and splits, and that's not very cute. So when you brush your hair, use something that has the little tips at the end of the bristles. We'll show you a close-up of this, but you don't want something that doesn't have that, that's kind of like a sharp edge, because that's going to create little rips in the cuticle of your hair. And again, you want to try to keep it as smooth and no friction or tearing going on there as possible. If you insist on teasing your hair, which I don't recommend, but I have to do it once in a while, I try not to do it here too much at AMI Clubwear, only because I'm changing all day, so when I tease my hair, I change and basically it goes flat, and then I end up having to tease it again, and you know, that's just going to break my hair off. But if you must do so, again, get teasing combs that have smooth bristles. I don't know if that's the proper word for this comb, but or get one that has the boar bristles. This is really good for your hair. It's definitely going to be less abrasive, but again, when you're teasing your hair, you're back combing it, so you're making the cuticle scales that are like fish scales go back the other direction, and again, that's going to create points of weakness and breakage, so just keep that in mind. I have this little mini brush. I always have this in my purse. This is great for touch-ups. Got this at Target for like $1.50. I've always used these things since I was in 6th grade. And the reason why I like these little tiny ones is because they used to fit in the little clear, like gel, like train case type purses. I don't know how to describe them. But yeah, these are great. And they'll fit in a clutch. Perfect for any kind of event. Okay, when you style your hair, I've done a tutorial on this on Heatless curls. I love these rollers. I got them at Sally's. I got a pack of, I think, 8 to 10 for like $8. These came with wires in them originally. This one still has it, and you can bend it and do different things with it. I just leave mine straight, and I actually took the wires out of it because it helps the roller to weigh less. So refer to that tutorial because it's very detailed on how to do your hair with heatless curls. But the less heat you apply to your hair, the healthier it's going to be and the longer you're going to be able to grow it. And then I use these clips to secure the hair. And lately I've just been doing this thing where I literally get a section of hair that's probably like 1.5 inches thick, and I wrap it around like this, and then I secure the top of it just right about here. And then I have a little tiny clip for the end, and I literally let it dry like that. So definitely refer to that video that I'm talking about. We will link it. Okay. If your hair is kind of unmanageable, I recommend a product like this. It's a 10 Miracle Leave-In Keratin Plus. It's like a cream. I love it. We all use it here at the studio. Just put a little bit, and if your hair is damp or dry, it's going to be perfect. You can just put it in. It helps control flyaways, makes it smoother and shiny. You can find this at Ulta, and I'm not sure who else carries this brand, but I love it and it smells so good. It also has heat protection in it, which is very important if you're going to use heat tools or hot tools on your hair. I like this Beyond the Zone flat iron protection spray. I get this at Sally's. You just need a little bit, especially if your hair is fine, because if you spray too much, it's going to look greasy. It is kind of like a lightweight oil. For these front pieces, I'll just spray it in my hands, rub them together, and then kind of comb through. Don't use a hot tool without putting heat protection on your hair, because you're just asking for, you know, more split ends or worse split ends than you would get. So try to use the lowest heat setting that works for your hair. I rarely use hot tools, but when I do, I try not to go above 360 degrees Fahrenheit. So that's right about in the middle on this particular curling iron. This one just has a number range from 0 to 30, so I just go to 18 because I figured, you know, that's my guess as to about where 350, 360 would be, and this hair is doing okay. Obviously, if you're putting heat in your hair, it's going to split and it's going to break, but this is just giving you more time and helping you to not end up with little tiny little broken off pieces, because I've been there. And it's rough, especially when the hair has been bleached like these pieces. Again, with your flat iron, the setting I use on this is 140 degrees Celsius. I'm not sure what the Fahrenheit conversion is, but my hair seems to like that. So, finally, just want to tell you guys that I really like this Garnier Fructis Extreme Control Anti-Humidity Hairspray. Everyone loves the way this smells, and it holds pretty well. For a drugstore hairspray, I've tried them all. I've even tried the salon brands, and this one has been my favorite. If you want a really strong holding hairspray that you're not going to be combing through, try the Kenra hairspray. That is a salon product, but it is like liquid glue that you're going to spray onto your hair. It's going to hold your style or hold your volume or whatever. So. Finally, when it comes to trimming your hair, I know that hairstylists are always like, trim your hair every, what is it, I don't know, 6 to 8 weeks or whatever the rule is. I definitely don't trim my hair that much. Maybe I should. My hair is kind of overdue for a trim right now. Unfortunately, even with all the efforts that I do to protect my hair, only washing it, you know, 2-3 times a week max, it's still, you know, it's old. It just breaks and it gets worn down. So I only trim my hair probably 3 times a year at the most, if that, maybe twice. So that's like once every 4 to 6 months. Definitely putting more time in between your trims if you're able to, if your hair doesn't look like crap at the ends, is going to help you get that length that you want. Finally, I probably already said finally, but finally, try a deep conditioning treatment at least once a week. I've been really bad about that because I'm so busy, but if you can, there's a ton of different masks that you can look up online, but one thing that's really good is coconut oil. You can put this on your hair even while it's wet after you wash it. Put that coconut oil in, or when it's dry, think it works better when it's dry actually, because it's able to seep in better. Put it in your hair and leave it on overnight and wash it out the next day. Or if you don't have time, you're rushing to say a hair coloring appointment, your hairdresser might not like it, but it's not going to affect the way your color turns out. Put in your hair a couple hours ahead of time, wash it out, and the coconut oil actually helps protect your hair from the coloring process. So I hope that you enjoyed that tip. Thank you ladies so much for watching this tutorial video. I know I didn't touch on everything because there is so much to the science of long hair, but all of these different tips have helped me keep mine long over the years. I've had long hair for as long as I can remember, and of course I'm not perfect and it's always a work in progress, but like I said, these things will definitely help you to have that long, luscious hair that you're after. I'll see you next time.